And when is your last working day in your current company?
31st July.
31st. Oh, you have so much time. Okay. July, 31st July.
Actually, I already resigned on 3rd May. Like the notice period is 3 months.
3 months. Okay, okay, understood. Good, good, good. I think
Yes.
you can crack good companies. Let's see how is your interview now. Okay, I'm very much excited because you have cracked two offers from our batch.
Yes.
So let's see. Okay. Okay, friends interview. Okay, Harshit is your friend, right? He's telling. Okay, great. So let's see. I will be opening your resume here, right? And guys, this will be very interesting interview. Okay, so don't miss it. I would suggest to be there in the call, right? Okay, so Priyanka, time is now 10:53. Okay, and guys, yeah, time is now 10:53, and let's start. Okay, so same pattern. Okay, so hi Priyanka. Thanks for taking this opportunity in giving the interview for Walmart. So you have 4+ years of experience, and we are hiring you for SRE and DevOps role, and you will be joining our team as an individual contributor three, IN3, right? And so we are also doing almost all the things like whatever you have kept in your resume. And surprisingly, your resume looks good with a good 3-page resume. Everything has been filled up in your resume. So let's get started. Okay. So Priyanka, tell me something about your current tech stack. Like, do you think that your current tech stack matches the 2024 generation of AI and all? What do you think?
Yes, because currently I'm working on a Kubernetes, Docker, Terraform, and AWS we are using as a cloud, and AWS we are using many services like for the S3 cloud, front cloud, trail, EC2 instances, and the Route 53 auto scaling groups, EKS, ECS, and all the things. And we are also using Grafana monitoring. Actually, I have set up all the things inside the EKS cluster. We have an individual team for the monitoring, which is creating the alerts and all. I like my work is to set up a Grafana, Prometheus, and ELK stake inside the EKS clusters. And also we have a use a CloudWatch for monitoring. So I think it is good, and I also done a CK certification.
Okay, understood. Tell me one thing. I asked you about the AI, right? So, do you think that your project with all the tools and tech stacks, whatever you have kept in the resume, does your project needs AI? Do you think that, or do you think that no, no, I don't need AI. My project is good with all the DevOps tools and SRE tools.
I don't think at the moment I need AI, but if it will need, we will definitely use inside our project, because currently we have some products. Actually, I'm working with the dedicated client. They have some 10 to 11 products in a Java microservices, and they have two front end application which is deployed inside the S3 and served via the cloud front. So basically they are using ECS clusters before. So we have migrating like all the things from ECS to EKS. We have a 150 plus microservices in a one region. I am managing three regions in a
Understood.
client account. So like my work is to work on the cost optimization task and the availability, scalability, and the managing the things, creating Jenkins pipelines, and we get a requirement from a business team to create a new infra from the new client. So we also need to create infrastructure from the scratch for a new client, and also managing the existing infrastructure. We also have a one legacy application which is deployed on the ECS EC2 instances, Windows servers, which is a deployed on Tomcat servers, because it is using an old Java version, and it is a legacy. Actually, it is not compatible for the microservices or Docker.
Understood. So tell me one thing. The first point in your resume, right? Designed and maintained Kubernetes clusters. This point is really good. Like, can you tell me like what exactly you have included in your design phase of EKS setup? What were the things that you would like to tell me that okay, Praveen, in Walmart also we can put these things. Can you tell me some things about that?
Yeah, for the designing, firstly I have created the VPC for the EKS cluster using the Terraform. Like I have designed all the network according to my requirement, and then we have created some roles, some policies for the EKS cluster, and I also created EKS via the Terraform. Inside a Terraform I have installed the ALB ingress controller, Carpenter for the auto scaling. We are also using the HPA, you know also install metric servers on it, and the external DNS configured, so it is totally automated. We are applying
Understood.
the deployments via Jenkins. and my EKS cluster is fully scalable and auto scalable. Cluster we are using Carpenter. So Carpenter is basically add the node
Okay, so your voice is
according to
breaking.
the traffic
Okay, your
comes
voice
to
is.
the cluster. Hello. Yeah, now it's good.
Yeah, yeah, now it's good. Okay, okay,
Now it's
understood.
good.
Yeah, yeah, now it's good. Now it's good. Now tell me one thing. In this entire system of HPA, auto scaling, Carpenter deployment, metric service deployment, DNS deployment, how are you doing all this setup inside the Kubernetes? Is it with the Terraform?
Actually, I have just created EKS and networking via Terraform, ALB ingress controller, and all things I have deployed via Helm charts. Using the official document, I have installed all the things. I have configured some manual things inside the value.yaml file,
Okay,
like
one
my hosted zone ID, my
understood, understood.
reason,
But
and all the things.
okay,
Yeah.
so Carpenter, auto scaling, HPA, metric server, DNS, all these things have been deployed manually by you.
Yes.
Okay, understood. Now tell me, when I'm talking about the auto scaling, how much load is your cluster taking and what type of worker nodes you have created for your EKS setup?
We are using R5 instances. We have four to
R5?
like five
R5?
to, yeah. Yes, because it's a Java application. Uh,
Right.
like it is taking a 1 GB for running the container.
Understood. So how much
It's
cluster size you are taking?
yeah.
R5 means what is the CPU and memory AWS is giving you?
R5 is almost we have a 32 GB for a one instance.
Okay, 32 GB
You
of
know,
memory or
30 GB CPU, RAM,
okay.
RAM,
Yeah, and
RAM.
what is the memory?
Memory is basically we are using a 50 GB as a hard disk, but for a RAM we are using a R5 instances.
Okay.
Because all Java services maximum use, like it is a memory intensive applications, because it is integrated by the legacy application. We have mounted this storage Windows storage to our microservices. So our
Mhm.
application is generating some kind of data or storage PDF files and documents files, which is mounted via the PV and PVC
Understood. Understood.
in our
Okay,
EKS cluster.
let's deep dive into the R5. Okay. Now tell me one thing. When you have selected the R5, okay, so you are telling you have your Java application which is memory intensive. Now tell me, how have you justified that R5 is good? Now, have you done any performance? Have you done any cost optimization? Or your manager told you simply put R5, or you did some research with your team? What was this?
Actually, I have researched it because before it we are using M5 instances,
Okay.
but actually it is not fast, in
Und-
terms of
yes.
performance. So
Yes.
that's why we are using R5, because
Understood.
it's totally memory intensive and our application is running fine with the R5.
Okay, good, good. So, what were the challenges you have faced in the M5? Can you give few challenges like not like it is not running, it is not working, but I wanted to know on a real time what was the issue you have migrated to R5.
As I told you, our application which is running on the Windows server, which is generating some kind of data, and we need this data on runtime in our EKS cluster with each microservices. So I didn't found any document on a net where I can mount a Windows CIF driver with my EKS. There are some document which is we can configure inside the cloud servers like EC2 clusters. Not managed clustered. So we have requested this kind of to the AWS help center, and they
And
provide me one documents where I can mount this CIF volumes of Windows to my EKS pods.
understood. So tell me one thing here. Are you directly the premium support for AWS where you are telling like AWS has given you the document? So you have raised any ticket to understand how to do it and then AWS given you the document?
Yeah, we have created a ticket,
Understood.
support ticket.
So your application is like a premium support on AWS. Okay.
Yeah, actually,
Okay. Understood.
we are
Understood.
using many services.
Understood. Understood. So tell
Actually,
me
my
one thing.
client is has many accounts, and they are providing their business, and they are doing business in 35 plus countries.
Understood. That's really good. Now tell me one thing. In your performance calculation and cost optimization calculation, how many worker nodes you have in your Kubernetes cluster, and how each worker node networking is being set up by you?
Okay, so I have created a private and public subnets and attached with my EKS clusters. We have a four nodes cluster. Now production, for production we have used, and for dev and QAT we have different. Actually, in terms of cost
One second.
optimization,
One second. One
yeah,
second. Four node cluster. It means how many worker nodes?
yeah, four right now.
Four worker nodes. How many master nodes?
Not a master actually. We are using EKS.
Okay. So it doesn't have master.
No,
Okay. So let's think like this. How you are using kubectl?
in like in my we have configured using the kube config. We have given some access identity for 3 to 4 members in my team. They can
Okay.
use they can configure cluster in their local system, and they can use via the lens, or we are using Jenkins. So we are also creating one role for the Jenkins, you know.
Okay. Okay. That's
Or
good.
we
So
are also configure carpenter, so it is scale automatically when it's needed.
okay, that's fine. So tell me one thing, when you have created the four node and you are telling like master is not there. So how this HCD database and your API server and your control manager are set up?
EKS actually AWS EKS provide the managed service, so we don't need to manage all the things which is in the master node and master
Okay.
component like etcd API server scheduler and all the things.
Okay, that's completely fine.
So it will do
Understandable.
automatically.
But tell me one thing. Suppose your AWS is saying like ETC server, ETC data is lost. So what will you do at that point of time? Can you tell me some situation if suppose it's HCD is lost? So what you will do?
But in the EKS, I don't have any chance to lost etcd. But if I have a EC2 cluster, EC2 Kubernetes cluster, I will take the backup of the etcd. Using the
Okay,
etcd command.
that's completely fine. But have you questioned this to the AWS? Like you are telling because it's HCD you don't manage. Okay, let's assume
Hmm.
that your entire cluster is running for some time and suddenly there is no data in the cluster. Entire HCD is gone. So HCD's database, which has to have snapshots, your clusters have to get snapshots. Did you talk anything about this with your team? Like, यार इसमें तो थोड़ा
Yeah,
दिमाग लगा.
we actually we are planning to take a backup using some tool like Valero. We can take a
Understood. That's what I was asking. That's what
yeah.
I was asking. So
So
Valero was
using
your
these tools, we can take a snapshot of the our clusters, but we are not using right now. We are planning to integrate in our.
understood. So
So
does your client know that because you are running your applications in 35 regions or 35 countries, does your
actually,
client know
we
that
have
we are
different teams. Actually, I'm working as a DevOps. We also have a CSD team. We also have a you know like a security team. So we have a different work. Like this kind of work, snapshot and life cycle, all things is done by the CSD team.
understood?
So I
That's what
already
I
suggested using Valero.
understood. Yeah, that's what I was looking for because your cluster needs to have the backups. Okay, tell me some things about Kubernetes. What were the major challenges in the last 1 or 2 years you have faced with the Kubernetes while setting up the clusters, maintaining those, upgrading? Anything do you remember where you have got recognition also?
Uh, yes, actually, when I was configure Carpenter, it will automatically remove the instance from my EKS cluster. There are some drift in the Carpenter. So
Okay.
I have a configured using the labels of a EC2. We need to give a pull inside in the new version of Carpenter.
Mm-hmm. That's fine. That's fine.
So there is one drift. So last time it will automatically drain my all the nodes. So I
Oh,
scared like I lost my all application.
okay. Okay. So
So then
your huh.
my
But tell me
colleague
one thing.
suggested me like,
Okay, I understood. Tell me one thing. Are you doing this all data setup, all setup? Are you directly doing on production? Are you doing on first your manager is telling go ahead, Priyanka with dev, then QA, then stage? How is that process?
we have a four environments: Dev, QAT, pre-prod, and production. Actually,
Yes.
So,
Yes.
but in a product, in pre-dev and QAT, we don't need a carpenter actually. We don't need a auto scaling and all the things. So we haven't configured a carpenter in the dev or QA environment. We will directly
Yeah.
configure the
Okay.
production.
Understood. Understood. Understood.
Yes.
Okay, got it. So tell me, like, any recognitions you have received from your organization, because you are doing so much work in your current
Yeah,
organization.
for the cost optimization, actually, I have saved like $15,000 per month because
Mhm.
before they are running all microservices inside the ECS cluster, and each microservices is associated with the each load balancer. Like we have a 150 plus load balancer in a one region. So like
Understood.
load balancer charges more like $32 point
Correct.
something in per month. So
Correct.
I have configured LB ingress controller inside my EKS cluster with one domain name using a
Correct.
group name annotation in the EKS.
Correct.
So we have only one load balancer with the one domain. So now we have 15 load balancers now. So it save more cost, and also we are using carpenter. So in the ECS, sometimes the auto
Okay.
scaling
Tell
groups
me
more
one thing here.
instructions.
I understood the scenario. You have taken one domain name for a load balancer. Let's assume that.
Yeah,
How your 15 applications or 20 applications are sharing the same domain?
because we can use a one annotation, group name annotation, which will work on the all namespaces. We don't need to configure each ALB controller with the like ingress with the each namespace.
Understood. Understood. So you're using one domain name and you are using annotations to route the traffic to various kinds of
Yes,
your pods and applications.
yes.
Correct. And you have saved how much? $15,000
Per month we
per
are
month.
saving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understood. And what was the award you have received for that?
They are giving me some money as a bonus.
Bonus. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Okay. Understood. Understood. Okay. So your resume looks very good, like in the sense of like you have worked on so many things, and I'm very much amazed to see your resume. Right? Tell me some things about your incident time response. You are telling like 80% you have reduced the incident time. Like how what was that you have done especially?
Means
You are telling here in your resume established Prometheus and Grafana for comprehensive monitoring and alerting, reducing incident response by 80%. What is that?
okay, so I have configured Prometheus Grafana. Actually meant like it will send the alerts. Many times we didn't get alerts from the EKS clusters or EC nodes. So we don't we actually we don't have knowledge what is going inside the cluster, and so we need to like find out the cause from the root. So actually they pre-alert us like memory utilization is done for 50%, so we can take some action
Understood.
before
Understood.
you know
Okay, tell me one thing. In the cost optimization techniques, have you come across like thread dump, heap dump, your JMX, right, and service related things? Any kind of that have you experienced? Like this also should be taken care in terms of cost. Have you any time thought of this?
no.
JVMs or okay, from your side there is sound. I will unmute you. Just check now. Okay, there is a noise. Okay, now it's why it's double sound in my. Okay, let it mute. Let you be in mute. Okay. So, Priyanka, I'm really amazed to see your resume. Okay. First of all, you are a confident charm. Okay. And I will first ask to the people, those who are in there in the class, how was she? Like a super fast train. Like everything like me only, she was talkative. Yes, I also experienced confident, excellent. Yes. Super train. Yes, definitely. Like Shatabdi Express. She banged it. Express. Okay. And Priyanka, definitely, I'm like you. Even I, in the interview now, I don't give chance to speak to them. Like भागो यहाँ से निकलो बस मतलब वो जो भी पूछता है मैं उसको पूरा बड़ा चढ़ा के पूरा बोलता हूँ and उनको मतलब I don't give time. Okay. And that's why I was stopping you every time to understand what is R5, what type of systems you have used. Are you telling the truth or not? What is that actually you are doing? Yeah, right. So I think you have done all the things as individual contribution mostly. And I think some person was telling, Bhaiya, ye carpenter kya hai? So you have used everywhere carpenter. लाइक कारपेंटर कारपेंटर ये कारपेंटर वो कारपेंटर ये कर रहा है कारपेंटर से ये किया. सो आई थिंक दैट इज वेयर एवरी पीपल आर, ये कारपेंटर क्या है भाई, कौन है ये. सो हाँ. एंड वन सजेशन फ्रॉम माई एंड ऑल्सो, ये जो चीज है ना, ये क्या होता है, कुछ टाइम पे लगता है कि इंटरव्यूअर को यार ये क्या बोल रहे हैं, यू नो मैंने भी लिखा है वैसे फीडबैक में कि नहीं बोलना, ठीक है. दैट इज वेरी रॉन्ग, मतलब वो रॉन्ग जेस्टर देता है. बट रेस्ट ऑल आई थिंक आपका शताब्दी एक्सप्रेस का जो फॉर्मेट है, योर रेज्यूमे इज वेरी गुड. आपने कल से बोल रहे थे कि आप देखो, आई थिंक दैट इज रियली गुड. एंड आई थिंक यू शुड बी गेटिंग गुड पैकेज बाय नाउ. ठीक है, क्या क्या बोलती हो? ओके, अनम्यूट, रुक जाओ. हाँ, unmute yourself. I have given you access. Check once.
Yeah, actually, I because I need to complete all the assignments because I have joined in the mid of the month, so I haven't using JFrog artifacts and other things. You know, I haven't mentioned in my resume right now and
Hmm.
take all the things. So once
Hmm.
I've done all the assignments, then I will create my new resume.
Understood. So what is the package that you have got right now? 14,
17 actually,
17. Acha. Good. Lot of free hits I got from her because of
but
most
I'm
of.
looking for more.
हाँ, नहीं, that's good. You
My
need to look for
expectation
more
is too
because
high.
you have more time, right? Till July end.
Yeah.
Right, Dhiren is telling lot of free hits. I will superb skills running like Rajdhani Express with having a pure smile. Yeah, smile is also good actually to bring a wow factor to the interviewer. And our favorite tool is Carpenter. All the best for our future. Right. So Carpenter also reduce it a little bit usage.
And when I said interviewer to Perforce, like I'm using Perforce as a version control system, they don't know what is Perforce actually. Can you
Uh,
spell it?
Correct. I think that is good. Right. That is really good. I think people have really enjoyed your interview. All of you. Okay, I will give the chance to talk. All of you enjoyed. I enjoyed. मतलब बहुत कम लोग ऐसे मिलते हैं लाइक यार राजधानी हो गया इंटरव्यू, मतलब ये अच्छी लड़की है, ये मस्त बोल रही है. राइट. ऑल ऑफ यू एंजॉयड. ओके, सो इसी कॉन्फिडेंस को लेके जाओ. एंड हाउ मच एक्सपीरियंस यू हैव बाय द वे? 5.
4 year and 7
4.
months.
4, almost 5. 5 बोल दो. 4 year
Yeah.
7 नहीं, 5. So I think what you have to do is for 5 years target till 25. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट टारगेट आपका होना चाहिए 25. एंड आपको 2 ऑफर मिले हैं, आपने हमारा बैच ज्वाइन किया. थैंक्स अ लॉट फॉर योर लाइक ज्वाइनिंग दिस बैच. आई एम वेरी मच प्राउड. ठीक है, बहुत कम लोग ऐसे आते हैं जो बहुत कॉन्फिडेंस हैं. मैं भी सोचता हूँ कि यार मेरे जैसे कोई लोग मिले मेरे को. ठीक है, रियली ग्लैड दैट then I gave chance to Umesh, I think Umesh or someone. Then you again continuously was asking